Hey, Tubies. This is Psychic Bob. It is so rocking to be with you. I'm just sitting here looking at my pendants I'm wearing today. You know, today is Tuesday and it's the dark moon, and I love the dark moon. Check this out. Here's my pendant. See, it's got the dark moon. There's another little pin I have. It's done in onyx with a pentagram, and the backside's a little mini dark moon. It's the full moon. In its black phase. So I love the dark moon. It's a time of mystery and power. And, we're at a really amazing crossroads right now because, last night we had Lammas, and I celebrated Lammas. And on Monday, I did my Lammas video. So if you didn't see that, check that out. It's 2 videos before this one. And then yesterday we had our monthly horoscope. So we had Lammas. We've had the beginning of the month, which means monthly horoscopes, and now tonight's the dark moon, and it's Messages Day. So we got a lot going on here spiritually at Spirit Channel. So I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll keep it here. Well, as I said, today is Tuesday. It's time for messages from the spirit world. You guys are just wonderful. Thank you for all your wonderful letters. For those of you who are new here, we do this every week. People write to me, and I answer a bunch of letters. Just so you know, a lot of you are new, don't understand. I get hundreds of letters, so it may take me a while to get back to people. So I ask for you to be patient, and feel free to send letters every week, because sometimes I get stuff and it gets shuffled. So just send it again if I don't get back to you, okay? And we're working on it, okay? So thank you for your patience. Also, for those of you who are new here, even if your letter doesn't get answered, I like to tell people, listen to all the messages, because many times Spirit will try to channel through me and bring the letters through and the information that will help as many people as possible. Because the spirit world, they're interested in efficiency. And so they want to work through a person and get as much done as they can. So, I've had so many people write and say, Psychic Bob, you were reading for somebody else, and I had a revelation from their reading. It helped me figure out something. And I really believe the spirit does that. I think that they're speaking sometimes more to than just the person I'm reading for. So I want you to be open to that, okay? I am so glad you're here. Well, we're going to get into all the letters here. But before we do that, let's all just take a moment and attune to the spirit world. Okay, I hear my spirit guide Fletcher back here. Our first letter today is from Timothy King. Hi, Timothy. Good to hear from you. He writes, he says, Hi, Bob. I met an awesome woman, and we talk every day for hours. I'm wondering if she is the woman I will marry someday. We seem to click, and I do truly like talking to her. Tim, let me just step into this a minute here. It's interesting. When I walk into your vibration and her vibration, what I get is a lot of blue light here. I love that, because that tells me that the communication bond really is strong. So you're not imagining it. You really are having open and good communications. I can tell you from a psychic place, there's really an equal exchange here. And that equal exchange really brings good power to the relationship. I pick up around her also some pink light around this woman. I feel that she's coming out of a very hurtful situation, as if she's still carrying some pain from some past abuse in a relationship. So I want you to be very gentle with her, be very careful. Take this slow, because I feel that underneath her good, bright, joyful nature, there's some pain here. And I don't know if she's revealed that to you, but I feel like that's going to start to come up here. And you're going to be the person who's also helping to bring healing to her. I do feel this relationship has very strong potential to move forward. I do feel from an energy place, you're in a place where you're ready to really start be thinking about marriage. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of free will involved in this whole process. But from a psychic place, you guys have a nice symbiotic relationship. There's a lot of harmony in your auras. I feel this is very good. So in terms of, is she the one? I feel she very much has the potential. I can't 100% say right now that she's the one because I feel like the energy is still forming. I don't yet see silver cords between you. I do feel that that will eventually come. A silver cord is when I see a silver cord come from one person's heart chakra and it connects to the other person's heart chakra. That's a sign for me that it's really ready. It's time for marriage or much more serious commitment. Right now, I feel like there's still a lot of energy of opening of the heart. And so each day I want you to meditate on your heart chakra, visualize it opening and being able to receive love as well as give love. And you might want to even talk to your special friend and ask her if she's familiar with the chakras and ask her to meditate on her heart chakra. This will do two things. One, it will help you get to know each other better. And two, I feel that, as I said, there's some healing yet that needs to take place with her. And I think by introducing her to meditating on the heart chakra, that's going to bring healing that's going to help her and you ultimately as well. So I like the relationship. The energy looks very good. It's got my blessing, so go for it, okay? All right. I do see you guys also meeting in person here, and I keep feeling like when we're around December, there's going to be an in-person meetup. So it may not happen right today, but as we get closer to the end of the year, I just really see an actual physical meeting, and that will be good. Okay? Hope that helps. Blessings to you. All right. Our next letter is Nigella for me. Hi, Nigella. Good to see you, darling. She writes and she says, Dear Bob, I keep having small white feathers float down at my feet everywhere. Wow, that's kind of cool. And it happens when no birds are flying overhead. Okay. They always come when I sense money is coming. I feel as if large sums of money are coming my way, and it's driving me crazy. Any insights? Hi, Nigella. First of all, you know, the spirit world is really fond of doing this. They will drop things literally in our presence to awaken us. And I think that these feathers really are, you know, signs of spirit that you're being guided. I feel like the white feather means blessing of divinity for you. I feel it's a sign literally of the presence of the angels. I feel it's a sign from heaven that doors are opening for you. Now, it's very interesting about your sense about money coming. I do feel there is going to be financial improvement for you, but in terms of timing around that, I get that closer to September rather than in the immediate. So it's still about a month and a half out yet. Until you start to see that. I'm not being shown large sums necessarily, but what I'm seeing is opportunity coming to you that brings longer term growth. So I feel like around September for you, there's going to be an opportunity. It's either like investing in a property or investing in a business or some type of element that has a business element. And I feel that if you honor that appearance in your life of that blessing, that's leading to the money. So, you know, if you do end up winning like $1 million tomorrow, I would love that. I'd love to be wrong on this reading. I hope I am. Sometimes I don't want to be right. But in your case, I do see money. I don't see it instantly, but I do see opportunity, as I said, in September that brings you long-term financial growth. And Fletcher said financial stability. So you're coming into a place and the angels are just trying to awaken you, say you're ready for change. You're ready to let go of the past. You're ready to let go of fear. And you're ready to receive blessing. That's what that's about. Okay? Hope that helps. Keep me posted. If you win the lottery, call me. All right. I don't mind being called out for wrong on that reading because I'd love that to happen to you. But that's the way I'm seeing it for you. All right. Blessings to you. Thanks for writing. All right. Our next letter is from True Lay. Or Leah. Truly? Hi, True. Drew says, Dear Bob, I just got some bad news about my job and am worried about the future of my employment. What do you see in the future for my employment? Hi, Drew. Um, Let me tell you, right now, when I step into your vibration, I am getting a little bit of dark blue light here and a little bit of gray light. And then it looks like it's followed by silver and copper. What that means is the dark blue and the dark gray light do mean that you're in a holding pattern financially. But I have to tell you, I know that this is distressing about your work, and I'm sorry to say that. But I have to tell you, from a soul place, I feel that all of this is happening in divine timing. And what I mean by that is that the spirit world is allowing you to come to some closure. And that closure is being given to you in order to push you forward on your journey. I have to tell you, I just feel like where you're working, it's not ultimately where you end up. So I feel like this is a sign from spirit that there are blessings coming. Now, you do have copper and silver in your aura, which for me indicates that you're going to move soon into a more stable position. Copper is about stability and building foundations. Silver means money. So I do feel like part of this transition does bring financial growth to you. So ultimately, it will be a blessing. In terms of the layoffs, I feel like, that you may actually have a little delay there, to be honest with you. But don't take that as a sign that you're supposed to stay. I feel even if they cancel all the bad news and say everybody's great, I feel that for you, you're ready to go anyway. So I would like to encourage you to start looking for work if you haven't already. I do feel there'll be transition for you. I'm not seeing a lot of transition energy till we get to the end of August. So there may be a little delay, like 3 weeks around this. But send out resumes anyway. I do feel you move into something. What's interesting is I keep getting somebody else around you. This may be a friend of yours, but I feel like somebody's saying, why don't you work with me and help me build my business? So there may be somebody coming in here to the picture who wants you to kind of help develop a business. And I really think for you, you want to be in a place where you get to grow, have more creativity, more self-expression, and more freedom. I feel like ultimately for you, you'll run your own business. I get a lot of artistic energy here around you. So I feel like you're very gifted, you're very creative, and I want you to focus on work that brings out that creative side. You'd be very good, for example, in running your own business, like, for example, owning your own shop, owning your own store. You'd be very good with arts and crafts. I also get around you here educational energies coming up. So you may find that in this transition that opportunities for going back to school come up as well. So if you're looking at kind of furthering your education, I also feel like there'll be money available for that. So I'll just tell you in terms of your job, I do feel things are going to change, not necessarily in your favor, but I do see it ultimately as a blessing. So instead of taking it as a tragedy, I want you to say, Spirit's moving me on. I'm ready to receive. And you're going to get some more work here, okay? But I'd like you to be open to working with a small business, like where you're kind of a developmental capacity. You're very creative. As I said, you could also even focus on like computer stuff, like doing web development or graphic design. These are areas where I see success around you, okay? Anyways, be ready to move on. As I said, it's still about 3 weeks until you start to see returns for your resumes. So you might send stuff out and may wait. Don't panic. It's going to be the last week of August till you really start getting into it. But I do see transition around that time, okay? Hope that helps. Keep me posted. Blessings to you. All right, our next letter is from Laura M. Hi, Laura. And she writes, Hi, Bob. Can you tell me what animal or spirit guides I have? Also, how is my grandmother, Eugenie, who died of cancer? I'm so sorry, hon. I had to hold her hand for 5 hours till she passed. I looked at her until the last minute. It was also very scary to see such a scene. Wow. Well, first of all, I'm really sorry about your grandma passing. Um, I will talk about that in a moment, but so I don't get sidetracked, let me just follow your questions here. In regards to animal and spirit guides, you have a lot of guides around you. I keep picking up two spirit animals. One is a bear. I feel that the bear is a guardian for you, like a mama bear spirit. I also get an eagle around you. So what's it? Excuse me. And an owl. Fletcher jumped in. He said eagle and owl. So you got eagle, an owl, and a bear. And these are your animal totem guides, okay? I also pick up some Native American spirits around you. There's a Native American chief who's working with you. I feel this is the spirit, his name is White Eagle. He's a very powerful Indian guide. He's come through a lot of mediums, but he's working with you. And he was the one who actually took your grandmother over. I believe somewhere in your family line, somebody else has worked with this spirit guide or has some knowledge of him. But he's the one who he guided your grandmother over to the spirit world, okay? Now, let me tell you about her. What Fletcher keeps saying, he said she's in the light, okay? So she's fine, she's at peace. And I think it's wonderful that you were with her when she crossed. You know, I know it's very hard to do that, but that shows really what a powerful and brave soul you are. So, you know, in heaven, you get a lot of points for helping people cross like that. And because of your love and your presence, she didn't become earthbound. See, your grandmother loved everybody here so much that if you weren't there, she would have stayed. But because you were there, you helped her be comfortable to know that it's okay to let go. And she was taken over by Chief White Eagle. She is at peace and she's in the light, okay? And I want you to think about this. I know you say it was scary to see that. It's always a struggle when somebody dies. But really, if you look back on that, what you'll discover is that what you were sensing, I think, was the opening of the spirit door. I myself have sat with people when they're near crossing, and I can tell you there's a doorway, an energy that you open. It's very mystical, very powerful. And so there is a sense of it's a little awe-inspiring. And I think really your emotions, if you look back on it, was probably more of awe-inspired rather than scary. And so I want you to know that you did a work of mercy, a work of love, a work of compassion. And you'll get a lot of help from spirit. So I want you to be calling on your guide, White Eagle. I want you to call on the spirit of the bear, the owl, and the eagle. And they're going to help you with a lot of transitions here. But she's in the light, and I feel like she has been back to visit you. Fletcher keeps saying she wants you to put out a cup of coffee for her or tea. She liked like a dark drink, either coffee or tea. So I want you to get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and put it out for her on the dining room table and say, Grandma, this is for you. And she's going to love it, okay? But she's around you and she's in the light and she's fine, okay? God bless you, dear. Thanks for sharing. Hope that helps. We'll see you soon. All right. Our next letter is from Malia Stacy. Hello, Malia. Malia writes and she says, Hey, Bob, I've been contemplating suicide very seriously for a while now. And I'm afraid there is no help for me. I've talked to therapists, friends, family as well, and I don't seem to be changing my mind in the slightest. I'm turning to psychics such as yourself as the last resort. Bless you and thanks. Hi, Malia. Well, you know, let me say something. First of all, you're a very brave person. Do you know a lot of people who commit suicide don't even have the courage to ask for help? They get so blocked in that they can't even reach out for help. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that you're reaching out to me. I'm thankful that you've reached out to family and to friends and to others. I'm sorry that you feel that they haven't given you a reason to live. But I would like you to reconsider suicide simply from the fact that if you kill yourself, you don't get peace. See, I think for you, you're in such pain, and I can feel your pain, okay? So you're not crazy. You're a real person with real feelings and real emotions. But I'll tell you that suicide doesn't bring one peace. There's a myth that once you kill yourself, you're in the light and everything's happy. There are some cases, I suppose, where that happens, but really, from what I found as a spiritualist, what happens is you will carry that pain into the next life, and you will not get advanced up into the higher realms of spirit unless you work out whatever that is. Many times suicides are actually forced to return to the earth and go through everything again in a new body and a new circumstance. But the circumstances will be so similar to what brought them, because on a soul level, you're actually working out something. And I know you're saying, well, Bob, I'm tired. I don't give a damn. I'm done. I hear you. This earth, I'm telling you, Malia, is so dense in vibration and darkness. Just so you know, I have died. I have been to the other side. I have seen the light. I died in a car accident several years ago and came back. And I can tell you that the other side will not accept you until it's your time. I begged God to let me stay because it was so beautiful. And I was told, no, you have to go back. I was told that if I quit my mission here and stayed, they would let me, but I wouldn't get to stay in heaven, that I would be reincarnated. You see, I didn't believe in reincarnation at that time. This is like 20 years ago. But nowadays, I believe in reincarnation because I was taught it. I was taught it when I was dead. And so, I know you say that nobody's going to stop you. And the truth is, if you want to do it, you'll do it. But I can tell you as a psychic, it's not the way. It won't bring you help. It won't bring you peace. There is, believe it or not, a higher power. There is a God or a goddess, however you want to call the higher power, that loves us. I have seen it. I call it the light because it's bigger really than the term God. And that's hard to explain till you see it. But that power loves you. That power will give you power to stay here, to complete your mission. When people commit suicide, they don't go home with honor. They're actually looked at as with disappointment. And I can tell you, when you go home with having done your mission, you'll get crowns of glory. I don't want you to miss that because someday we're all going to go home. And I tell you, once you're over there, the light of the other side makes you understand that all of the struggle here, everything is really very minimal, ultimately, compared to the true reality. All of this life is temporary and is passing. But you can't opt out early and get a medal. You see, there really are crowns of gold in heaven. I know that sounds cliche, but you know what? I saw them, and I want my crown because they're beautiful. They glow brighter than any diamonds here. But had I stayed and quit my mission early because I just didn't want to finish it, I was told I wouldn't get a crown. Well, see, I want those crowns. They're beautiful. If you ever saw the crowns of heaven, you would never want to forfeit it, I tell you that. But besides the beautiful crowns of heaven, there is joy there that you miss out on. So when you think you're going to escape the material world and somehow find peace there, you're just not. I know you're hurting. I know you feel desolate. I know you think nobody cares. But people here love you. I created this channel as a safe haven, a place where people could come and share their journeys, share their heart and soul. So many people over the years I've been here have said to me, Psychic Bob, Spirit Channel saved me from despair. It changed my life. I'm alive because of the work that Spirit Channel does. It humbles me to tears. And I can tell you, if nobody else, if you think nobody really cares, I care. I wouldn't be here today doing this. I don't make money from this. I do this as a labor of love because I believe in the work of the Spirit. I believe in the good of humanity. We are at a crossroads right now where there's a lot of darkness on the earth, and there are evil forces that are rising. And I don't say that to be dramatic. I say it out of truth. Maybe you've seen my video called The Murder of Psychic Bob by the U.S. government. You see, I'm a targeted individual, and that means that I am tortured daily and I suffer. I don't talk about it much here at Spirit Channel because honestly, I don't want that to be the focus. But I'll tell you, I've had times on my journey where I've been close to despair. And this program that I've been forced into has brought me many times to the brink of despair. But you see, it's that light of spirit inside that gives me power to go on. I want you to find that light of spirit. The reason why you despair is that you have forgotten who you really are. You're a soul of light and of love. You will never be disconnected from God unless you want to be. And so I ask you every day, would you just at least try to sit in the light? Visualize a beautiful light coming into you and filling you. This is your soul light, and it'll expand and glow through your whole body. Let that light be your healing power. I also feel that, I don't know if you've talked to doctors about antidepressants. You mentioned here you've talked to counselors, but I also feel there's a chemical imbalance in you that is also generating this desperation. And I think that that should be looked at as well if it hasn't. If you are on antidepressants, and I'm not picking up that you are, but if you are on antidepressants, I think you need to look at what you're taking. I think for you, a more natural approach is the answer, something that is less toxic. And there are doctors called holistic doctors, naturopathic MDs. They're fully licensed physicians accredited by the AMA who work with holistic methods. So I'd like you to look up naturopathic physician. I'm sure there's one, I feel there's one very close to you actually, that's going to help you. So please don't give in to despair. I can tell you as a psychic, you will not find peace on the other side. You will go there and you will wake up in a place where all your consciousness will be with you, but it will be 100 times more acute. And you will not only realize that you haven't escaped your pain, part of what you will experience is the suffering of every single person who you've hurt by your act. I ask you to reconsider, and I want you to reach out to me and to others here. If we have your permission, I'd like to start prayer for you. I'm going to light candles for you at my altar if I have your permission. And we want to send healing help to you. So I invoke everybody here. Malia, there may be others here who have thought about doing suicide, and they may have overcome it. And if you're somebody who's been where Malia is, maybe you'd like to add some comments for her to read in the box below and talk about your journey and how you've overcome it. Malia, there is true power in spiritual practice, but it is work, and that means that you have to commit to it. And if you do, you will find the light, and you'll lose the despair. I'm going to pray for you, and I send you my love, my prayers, and my blessings. You're not alone, darling, okay? Let me know, okay? Well, guys, listen, that's all the time I've got for letters. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for being part of Spirit Channel. I love all of you. You're all special to me. And let's all remember Malia this week. Malia, reach out to me, okay? Let's talk. But I send you my blessings and my prayers. All of you are wonderful. Keep it here. Tomorrow it's Wednesday. We're going to have Wiccan Wednesday. We're going to talk about the mystical Wiccan cone of power. You don't want to miss it. All right, guys, listen. See you here tomorrow. By the way, pop over to my website. Get your free daily horoscopes as well. There's a robert-hickman.com. I'll put a link below. We'll see you. God bless you all. Have a good night. And of course, next Tuesday we will definitely have another messages from the spirit world.